Yo, what's happening, people? It's Ramon here from Neeks with your update on the transfers and goings on at Arsenal Football Club. Of course, the January transfer window is open, which means that we can sign or loan players in and transfer out and loan players out. And a lot of the talk at the start of the window was that Arsenal needed to strengthen up their defence. Of course, Callum Chambers got a nasty injury, which means he's out for the rest of the season. Rob Holding still hasn't had that run in the team yet that we kind of thought he might do. He keeps on getting these little niggle injuries, keeping him out. And the defence hasn't been great for the season. Socrates and David Luiz have sort of dropped performances, and especially some of the games under Unai Emery. So a lot of talk about is Arteta going to bring in defensive recruits. The problem with Arsenal is the fact that I think we've been told again for third season in a row that we can't really sign any players in January. That it's going to have to be loan deals. But we did, again, as I said, we did hear that a couple of years ago, and then we ended up signing Aubameyang towards the end of the window. So I think it's one of them ones you never know what could happen, because that was a sort of rumour going on when we brought in Mislintat, and Giroud was kind of wanting to go to Chelsea or leave the club, and Aubameyang was being touted as coming in, and didn't really happen until towards the end of the window. We obviously had the Nketiah and Sanchez swap as well. So they say January things never happen, but it's one of them ones, anything can trigger. Someone leaving can just trigger things to happen. So I wouldn't rule out anything happening, but at the moment, I'm not confident we're going to sign anyone long term. I think loan deals look like the best option. In fact, this week, the main talking point has really been players going out on loan as well, actually. Emil Smith-Rowe has joined Huddersfield on loan till the end of the season. Tyrese John-Jules, one of our youngsters, has gone to Lincoln on loan till the end of the season as well, so that'll be good for him to get a run in some league football, lower league football. And Eddie Nketiah has left Leeds now. We've cut his deal short there. He's not been playing as much as we thought he would be under Bielsa, even though when he does play, he scores goals, and I think he's probably learnt a lot in his time there. It was talk at the start of the season that he was going to go to Bristol, and then Leeds sort of hijacked the deal, and that deal to Bristol may still be on. I think he'll be a good addition for Bristol to help them with their chase on in the Championship. But there's also talks of Villa and Norwich having a sniff around him as well. So maybe a Premier League outing would be best for him. I would love for Eddie to play in the Premier League. He's a player who could suit the Premier League and kind of needs a maybe little run like Tammy did. Tammy went to Swansea in the Prem, and then he dropped down to Championship and had a loan spell down there. And now look at Tammy leading the line for Chelsea. So I think Eddie needs a good run in a good side, starting week in, week out. With Villa losing their striker to the end of the season, he could be an option to go there. Norwich maybe needed some sort of backup for Pookie because didn't really look great without him against Manchester United. So there's opportunity to see what Arsenal could do in this transfer window for Eddie Nketiah. And there's also talks of him actually staying. Aubameyang suspended now for 3 games with a red card, so there's talks of him maybe even staying at Arsenal. In terms of anyone else, Mustafi's been talked about going out. He's one we've been trying to get rid of for a couple of years now, really. Never really happened. Inter Milan wanted him a couple of years ago. It didn't happen. There's talks of Inter Milan going back in with another bid this transfer window, and Galatasaray are also apparently interested in him. I think his time at Arsenal is up now. Even when we do have injuries, he's not the first person that gets called on. It's usually Chambers or Holding, and then him. So for his benefit, if he wants to have a footballing career towards the end of his time at playing football, then he needs to leave Arsenal, and I think Arsenal needs to get him off the wage bill and bring in a replacement. Now, as I said, I don't think there'll be a major deal signing, but the player who I wanted last year, who I still want again this year, is Upamecano from Leipzig. He's a great young defender who can benefit with having a step up to another club. And maybe Arsenal's not the one. Maybe he can even go bigger. I think he can. There's talks of Barcelona being interested in him. That one for me is more of a summer transfer. I can't see it happening now. If he stays at Leipzig till the summer, then there's a chance we can go back into him. We've still got scouts apparently looking at him. So that would be good to do. Obviously, we got William Saliba coming in from his loan deal from Etienne in the summer as well. So, maybe a double defensive reinforcement in the summer may be the one that we're going to go for. I'd love to see him come in. But then also you think, if he does go somewhere like Barcelona, then again, look at, as I said to you before, you've got to look at the repercussions and the bounces from players leaving. And if he goes to Barca, then what's the future like for Samuel Umtiti? I am a big fan of him. Have been for a while, actually. I'm a big advocate of the way France play football, and he's been integral to that. Of course, a World Cup winner. He is a defender who likes to get involved and get in and around players. He's got a good relationship with some of the French players. You've got Lacazette and Guendouzi in that here as well. So I think he'll be good to have around the dressing room. He might be good to just bolster this defence, who tend to concede a few more goals than we should need to. So someone like him will be a good addition for Arsenal. And the other player that's been kind of linked to Arsenal is Hakan Çalhanoğlu from AC Milan. I think he's a left winger. Can play in the midfield as well. Very good on free kicks. Born in Germany, but he's Turkish international. Talks of him coming. I'm not too keen if it's just someone. If it's a loan deal, maybe it's no harm having another player. But how good is that player going to impact the squad? If he plays in the left wing, we do need a left winger because we haven't really got one. We're playing Aubameyang out there. It's not his best position. I just see sometimes he goes in and gets himself sent off when he plays there. So maybe someone else to play on the wire to give us another option could be something we're looking at. But I would have thought that the main focus is on the defence. So I'll be surprised if we do go for a loan deal for him. But as I said, if it's on the table and it's another player to bring in, then why not? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'm not drastically confident we'll bring anyone in. But you never know. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. See you soon.